What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Moms Off the Clock podcast. I'm your host and fellow mama friend, Deirdre Brannick. This podcast is dedicated to the moms who need a break to just talk, laugh, feel encouraged, and to examine what we are collectively facing as mothers, society standards, and exhaustion. You are not alone. It is a pleasure having you all join me in my conversation about motherhood. Welcome to the new moms and welcome back to the moms who've been rocking with me since the earlier episodes. I'm so glad you all are here. But let's go ahead and get started because let's be honest, mom breaks are not that long. So before we get into this episode and topic, I first want to tell you all to please connect with me on my social media. My IG is at THEMOTCCLUB. So the Moms Off the Clock Club, right? It's just an acronym. And then my Facebook is the Moms Off the Clock Club. One big word, not one big word, but break it up. And if there are any topics you like me to talk about, or even if you like to give feedback, support, donate, or you would like your establishment or business to sponsor Moms Off the Clock, please connect with me. Everything will be in the show notes. So please connect with us down below in the show notes. Really would like to meet with you all. I love meeting new moms. I love connecting with mompreneurs. So please talk to me, connect with me on my Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever you need to do to get in touch with me. Please do it. Okay. And please remember to write a review on Apple Podcasts or rate the show there or on Spotify. And if you leave a review, I will shout you out on this announcement portion of the episode. Okay, so let's get into it. Now that I read everything, I really just want to say hi. Hi, everyone. I have missed you. I missed you, mamas. I didn't want to write too much. I wanted this to just flow today. It's been a doozy. I don't know what to say. It's been rough, you all. And I can't wait to talk about this episode. I don't have an affirmation, but if I did have an affirmation, I guess this is the affirmation, it would be that you're stronger than you know. That you're stronger than you know. Okay. So if you're listening, you know what to do. Clock out and grab your wine, your juice, water for the fitness moms, or coffee for the go to moms. And we're going to talk a little bit about my life update. All right. And kind of pairing it with motherhood. I have to tie motherhood into it because that is my life. And you all listening, that is a part of your life as well. Right. And so I want to give you just some thoughts, and I hope that it encourages you. If you're going through your own hardship or obstacle, maybe you can relate this to it, because some of the gems or something I would say probably will relate to it. And just feel free to allow your spirit to just absorb all these good things, right? um so how I'm going to start this, let's get started. How I'm going to start this is rough. I don't know if I'm going to cry during this episode. I don't know if I'm going to not cry. If I don't cry, please don't take that as I'm not mourning. I hate when people say things like, you're so strong. You all don't know what's behind the scenes. You all don't know. You just don't. Um, but I do feel strong. I will say that, because of the prayers and because of just amazing people and all those wonderful things. And I thank God for that, because I just feel stronger in this element of my life right now, in this chapter of my life. And I'll get into that. But just starting, some of you may not know, if you don't follow me, my mom passed away around Mother's Day. It was a silent battle. It was a very silent battle, because while many others were telling me, she's gonna get through, I'm praying for her, behind the scenes, I was making peace that she was not. And that was very hard, because I was expecting her, or I was wanting her to pull through. I was wanting her to make this miraculous breakthrough and miracle happen, but I started shifting my prayers to asking God to give me peace to accept things I can't control. And I'm not new to this grieving process, because I lost my father in 2017 on Christmas Day. And I know if some of you all are like, oh my God, like, how are you so strong? Like, listen, like, we all have to go through this one day, right? We all have to go through this one day. And so if someone's watching this, you guys so afraid, what will happen if I lose my parents? What will happen? And I just want to let you know, like I said in the beginning, you're stronger than you know, but God will transition them and take them to be with him when he knows that you are settled and ready. And sometimes it's often that people will tell me, well, I wasn't ready. I was young when I lost my family member or my father, but God still brings people in your life to help you get through these rough paths of your life and through these bumps and through these obstacles of your life. He still has you in his hands. And that's how I feel so strong, to be very honest with you, because in the beginning of January of 2023, I asked God for peace. I was like, I don't want to go through this year or the rest of my life feeling like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? Why I don't want to feel like I'm just running around like a chicken with its head cut off, or I don't want to feel like I'm so anxious about things. And I've been asking God for peace since the beginning. I'm talking about January 1st of 2023. Okay, I've been asking God for that. And literally, you all know, you've been tuning into the podcast. You all know what has been happening. It literally was an obstacle from the beginning with my job and everything that was in between. And then he started working things in my favor with the podcast, with the Moms Off the Clock platform. And I was just like, what is happening? Right. And then I'm cruising thinking everything is good. And then I met with the most difficult obstacle of my life, which is losing my mother. And sometimes I said that, like, listen, if I cry on this, just hand me a virtual tissue and just keep flowing with me. Okay, because it's hard talking about this, but I want to talk about this because I feel like someone needs to hear this, because maybe you're afraid of losing your family member or your parent or something like that. And I'm here to just encourage you all that God is still with you. Even if that happens, even if it happened, he's still with you, right? And I don't hate him. I have questions, but I don't hate him because I need him, right? And that's how I've been walking with this. And people will text me and be like, "Oh, I'm so sad." It's like the pity, and it's like, don't have pity for me, because God is literally walking with me so heavy, and I can feel it even as I'm talking right now. My parents prayed for me since day one, and their prayers will stick with me for the eternity of my life, right? The remainder of my life, my mom's prayers will carry me. And some of you all, to the mothers watching this right now, pray for your children right now, even if they're babies, newborns, 12, 14, 18, whatever. Those prayers will align in their life, and God will have his way in their life, and he will make their life so beautiful and so precious and guide them and protect them. Those prayers that you pray as a mother, don't think that it just stops. Once you have the baby, you stop praying. No, keep praying, because those prayers will see them through to the end. you know and I feel my mother's prayers to this day. I feel my father's prayers, and how they would just speak life into me about my dreams and about my aspirations, and they gave me a voice, and they helped me know my purpose, and they poured into me. And I am so honored to have had them and have them as my my parents, the people who the woman who birthed me, and my father who created me with my mother. Like, it's their DNA lives in me, and it's no turning away from that. It's no running away from that. And I take so much pride and love and compassion in knowing that they were my overseers, right? The ones who guided me through life. And so don't take pity from me. Please don't take pity from me. Thank you for the prayers, for the strength and the endurance to get through this. But don't take pity in me, because I know where my parents are. I know that they knew the Lord. I know that they are such amazing beings, and they left such a legacy on this earth of being so selfless. And, just I pray that I can amount to who they were, you know? I pray for that. And I'm sorry, y'all. It gets me. But I wanted this to be raw and truthful, and I didn't want to write too much of a script for this because I wanted to just flow, But my mother was a beautiful woman. And my mother had me when she was 42. So I knew that my mother was going to be older in age when I was just coming into my marriage and having a child one day. But I thank God that at least one of my parents got to see my baby and be a grandparent and see me be pregnant and take care of me, because I surely did love when my mom took care of me when I was pregnant. And I thank God for that because that's one of those prayers you pray when your parents are older, right? That's one of your prayers you pray for your children now that you can see them grow up, you can see them have grandchildren, and I just thank God for that. It's not a time of sorrow for me. It hurts, because I can't talk to the one person I would want to ask, how do you get through this? She's not here, my dad's not here. And so I've really been relying on God, and he has just been such an amazing God, and just guiding me. I can't explain it, but you guys could probably feel it through this. You guys have seen me, you guys know. And I just also want to just say thank you to my husband. Like, I mean, I don't know what he was going through, because he was very close to my mother too. My mother loved him. And I just thank God for him helping me every single day. I mean, literally getting up and going with me to that hospital. It was hard for him. That was his first time experiencing um grief. Well, he experienced it before with his grandmother, but it was like the first time as a mother-in-law, as a parent, that he leaned on as a parent too. And it was hard for him to see this, up close and personal. This wasn't my first time seeing it, so I was a little more prepared, should I say, and so I just thank him for just saying, whatever you need, I'm here. And I thank my in-laws because they were just, we'll watch Layla, we'll do this, and I just thank God for that, because imagine being on mommy time and dealing with losing your mother at the same time. Like, I'm trying to be a mommy, and then I need my mommy. It was just so much, and I just thank them so much, more than they know, for just being there and not making me feel like I had to be on mommy mode. They were like, do you need to step away? And I just thank them, and I pray that God bless them so much for that. And they showed me, being an only child and losing both of my parents, I was like, God, how is this going to look for me, because I don't have any more family like that's blood related to me. And God was like, yeah, I'm going to disrupt all of that, because my friends, Kendra, Bindu, all of them, and Cortina and Jazz and Michelle, and just all of my amazing friends, who have just been walking with me. I thank God for them, because they are not my blood sisters, but they are my sisters in Christ, and in just spirit, and just I love them. And I thank God for just dismantling that mindset that I would be alone, because my in-laws just, I mean, embraced me to the point where it was like, thank you. I needed that, right? And then my friends, and then my husband, and then my mom's pastors, my aunts and my uncles, who came and rallied around me, and still to this day rally around me. They still text me, they still call me, and just to check on me. And my mom's friends, my aunt Drew, my godmothers, all of them. Like, I just thank God for that. And God was like, yeah, you have this mindset to think that you will be alone, or that you can't, make it when your parents pass, but I will be there with you, and I'll send in a village of people to support you as well. So I thank God so much for that. And I needed that, and so that's where I've been. I'm not there yet to tell you all the story. And honestly, I don't want to tell you all the story, because that's personal, of what has happened to my mother. But she had a heart attack, I will say that. And it just kind of, was more to that. But, still processing it day by day. And just realizing that God is in control, and he is still guiding me. And this has been the most confusing, I don't know how to say, most confusing, but yet the most empowering year so far. And we're only 6 months into this year. It's so crazy. But I just feel like God is like, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your purpose. Don't give up on your dream. You're stepping into greatness. You know, you're maneuvering this new life. You're choosing to take care of yourself. You're choosing to still trust in me. And for that, and for honoring God, and for my obedience, I just feel like God is like, I'm about to blow your mind. And I don't know. And I'm not saying, I'm just telling you what he's given me. Like, he's just like, walk with me and I will always guide you and provide for you and give you all the things that you need. And I have felt that. I have felt that there are moments that I grieve, but then there are moments that I'm just like, God, thank you for keeping me, you know? Thank you. Thank you so much. And God has just taught me that even when situations like this arise and I start thinking about, well, one day I'm gonna leave Layla, and one day I'm not gonna see her, see everything that she does and all this. And God was like, focus on the right now and live. We are on borrowed time. Live your life to the fullest. My parents fulfilled every purpose that they were given. They fulfilled their time on this earth, and it's my turn now. And some of you all that may be watching, you may feel like life will stop when your parents go away, or when they transition, or you might feel like, I don't know how I'm going to maneuver. You live on purpose to honor them. Live on purpose to honor them. Live on purpose to leave a legacy for the next generation. My mom touched hundreds of people, and I'm going to touch thousands. And then my child is going to touch hundreds of thousands. I want that for my family. I want that for the generation. And God was like, during this time of grief, speak life into your family, speak life into yourself. And I plan to do just that. I plan to do just that. Like, you all don't understand. I don't know. I'm going to tell you, like, I'm just going to give it to you how I've been feeling it. I've had this vision when my mom passed that I just was changing coats, almost like a white coat ceremony. You put on the white coat as a doctor. I was changing coats, and it was like God was just telling me, you are now the matriarch of your family and the generations to come. Leave a legacy for them. And I tell that to you, whatever you're doing, whatever decisions you're making, that's going to affect the next 3 generations. And then your child is going to affect the next 3 generations. What are you leaving? I want to leave marks for my family to know, like, oh, it's high standards always. It's believing in yourself always. It's being assertive and not people pleasing always. That's the mark I want to leave. Taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, being selfless to serve. That's what I want. I want my child to know how to give to a charity. I want her to be kind. Those are the things. I don't want her to be one day she's going to be a millionaire because of all the things in place that will take her there, right? But overall, I just want her to be a kind person, a sweet person, a selfless person. My mom did that for me. That's how I do it for you all. My father did that. That's how I did it. To have both of them as parents, man, my parents weren't perfect. Don't get me wrong. They were not perfect, but they showed me so much of how to give and how to serve and how to pray and how to love and how to find your own happiness and how to have your own voice. My parents never stunted my voice. And that is why I am who I am today. They never told me, they would tell me sometimes, like, hey, that's a little too grown, but they would never say, you don't get a say so in this. It's like, let's talk. How do you feel? Do what things can I do better? They allowed me a voice. Do the same thing for your children. Do the same thing for your children. Okay? Like, I'm telling you, like, it is an honor, isn't it? It is an honor to have them as parents. And my parents were not perfect, but it is an honor to have them as parents because they instilled so much in me. Same thing for you. Make sure that when you get older and your children get older as well, and they start to really see who you are as a parent, make sure that when they realize who you are as a person, right? And who you are as a parent, it's a good look for you. you know, make sure that when they start putting things together and their frontal lobes start connecting and they could piece things together, they won't say, hey, my mom wasn't that the best, she didn't really help me, she wasn't really a giver, she wasn't very, she didn't add to my happiness. And don't get me wrong, we'll make mistakes as moms and as parents, but when they connect the dots and they see you and they see your life, you want them to say, I had a good mama. But not even just a good mama, I had a good human raising me and giving to this world. And because of them, I do what I do. And so I thank Dorothy Jean Powe and I thank Raymond Theodore Burton Jr. for just being my parents. And I love them and I love y'all. I love y'all so much. So thank you. And a few things I wanted to say about navigating loss and grief as a mom. Okay. As a mom, it has been very difficult because when I grieved the loss of my father, I was able to have that time away, you know. But now as a mom, you can't just tuck away and cry and lay in the bed all day. You have a job, and as a wife, I have a job. You can't just do those things, right? So, a few things I wrote down, three things about navigating loss and grief as a mom that that has helped me, and I feel like is insightful to you all. One is having a time and a place to cry. I literally step away to cry. If I feel it, I step away. I cry during her nap time. If I need to cry, I cry during the nap time. Um, I cry. At night. At night, I cry. I'm like trying to figure out when I cry. No, but seriously, when I put her to bed, because I want uninterrupted time to just have the grief and the time and just to let it out when I need to, right? I need that time and you need that time. So find spaces that you can maneuver and insert into your schedule so you can grieve the way you need to, because you can't say, oh, I don't have time to do that because I'm just a mom. No, use the time that you have, that downtime, really reflect, let it out in the shower, in the tub, whatever you need to do, scream into a pillow, whatever you need to do, let it out. Okay. Just have set times. Okay. Second, grief counseling. Okay. I needed this for when I lost my father, and I wasn't just going to allow time to just slip by and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get grief counseling. No, get grief counseling now. Or if you don't do grief counseling, go to a therapist that you trust and that specializes in grief, and just talk through those emotions and then figure out some coping mechanisms to help you through that. Okay. I'm still working through the grief counseling because it's kind of hard finding someone who, takes like TRICARE. So I'm just trying to, find that. But the I think because I'm understanding of what happened, more than when I first lost my father, right? So because of that, I'm allotted a little bit more time, to just process more, and then I'm going to seek grief counseling. So I am looking, okay. And please, if you need it, get it as well, because there's a lot of unhealed things if you don't talk that through, okay, that might pour over into your relationships in your marriage as you mother. You want to get that right, okay. You don't want to hold too much inside, because it'll eat at you physically and mentally and also spiritually, because you might start taking out that anger on God when death is not the end. It's not. And if you know God and your people know God, you know that they are in the safest hands. Okay, so just wanted to say that. Okay. And my last thing, but the most important thing, is prayer. I can't live without God. I need him and I need prayer. My talks to him, only he knows. And he'll talk back to you if you listen and if you're open. It's not always through the sound. People are like, I just don't hear him. Sometimes he talks through people. I took my baby to the children's museum. Literally, someone bumped into me And I ended up asking her, could she take a picture of my baby and I? And literally, she just started talking to me. She's a PK, a preacher's kid. And I said, I don't think this is a coincidence. She said, "Oh, it's a never coincidence. It's never a coincidence." And that was God's way of just telling me, I'm still going to be with you. And if you don't hear me as clearly as you wanted me to, I'll send a messenger, right? I'll send a moment. I'll send a memory. I'll send someone to tell you. I'll send a visual. I'll send something that has words with it that you can see it, that empowers you. Something there. And God is looking out. So prayer helps me more than anything, because that's my silent just talks to him, and that's uninterrupted too. So I schedule that in with my time to cry. I'm not laughing but I'm just being honest, So yeah, I just want to say thank y'all so much for every DM, every virtual hug that you all have sent me with words, right? Every call, every text. I just want to say thank you. And thank you for working with me. Thank you for allowing me to be back on this platform to talk with you all. I look forward to just doing some crazy, amazing things to come, because I'm not giving up on life. And we're just getting started, but pray my strength as I continue to serve you all, and as I continue to do my best as a mother. Okay, that was my Friday sleep notification, but just thank you all so much, and I love you. God loves you, and just go out and continue to be the amazing mom that you are. And as you get ready to clock back in, mama, know that it's not about being perfect, it's about being progressive. Okay, until next time, mamas, see you soon. And I'm not going to check on my baby because she's sleeping right now. It's nighttime. Okay, it's late. But thank y'all so much, and I love y'all. All right.